Apply online at ValicioFoods.com/careers.
Hey everybody, it's your old pal Porter. We got news for you. It's the brand new Cycle Search 2023, and we've got not one, but two we're giving away.
That's right, it's twice as nice, and you're going to find our prices right here at Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am KO of Jackson, just off U.S. Route 35 at the Standpipe Road exit. Porter House giving the big bike away over there. Tell them about it.
Well, this one right here may be a little bit used once it gets into your possession, but basically what you're going to be doing is searching all over our listening area for a set of keys that will go to these KOs. And of course, what will happen is you'll listen to the clues, you'll try to figure out where it's at, and once you think you know where it is, you go look for it. And when you find it, you win!
Exactly. So how do you win? Be listening to Matt and the Morning Crew. Each weekday morning, you're going to get your clues there first on Mix 96 FM. Matt will have those clues, and then you can hear them across our total media platforms on 97 Country The Bull, also on WCJO FM, Pure Rock 98.7, and Fox Sports 105.3 FM. Again, you find that key packet, you're right away on a KO Storm 150 or this beautiful KO Predator 125. It's all from your friends at Total Media, and of course, Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am KO in Jackson.
Do you think that'll work if I write you a note? Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV. Of course, Jennifer here to start off your Friday TGIF, and we are here to partay with some senior baseball players and a coach from Jackson High School. Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so good to have y'all here, and you are here to talk about something that is really going to be a lot of fun and do a lot of good for you guys, and that's coming up tomorrow, and we'll get to that in just a second. But first, you need to all tell everybody who you are.
I'm Tyler Mullins.
I'm Lenny Camp.
I'm Braden Stapleton.
I'm Braden Powell.
Okay, and you guys are all seniors,
Yep.
baseball players.
Yep.
Cool. And Coach?
Coach McGraw.
Coach McGraw is here as well. And you're stuck with these fellas, right?
Oh, I love them.
You love your coach too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's get that all out in the open. No, so tell everybody, so you guys are all seniors. So what are you planning on doing after graduation?
Well, I'm going to attend Ohio University and probably go for a bachelor's degree in computer science.
Okay.
Well, not very sure, but I might just go join the union and become a lineman.
Good. Okay. Very good.
I'm going to join the electrical union and hopefully go on with Geiger Brothers and be an electrician.
Okay. Good. You're hired. I'll make sure that happens.
I plan on joining the workforce.
Okay, very good. And yeah, we need a lot of folks out there. Somebody that's doing a construction project right now and can't find anyone to do things. You're hired. Oh. You go learn real fast, and I'll hire you. And Coach, how many years have you been coaching now at Jackson?
I think this is my 11th year here.
And you've been very successful in your, run as high school baseball coach. You all have done quite well, and season's getting ready to start again this year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, what have you all been doing, like getting ready to start the season?
Just practicing every day. Start at 3:30 and around 6 every day.
So 3:30 to 6 every day. When do you
He said that like it's too long.
No, that's good. That's good amount.
It's fine.
They've been working really hard. We're out there 6 days a week.
Yeah.
We've been taking advantage of the weather. That's very, very rare that we're on our field in February and early March.
No doubt.
But we've been trying to take advantage of that and practicing a little longer, a little harder. But yeah, these guys been good leaders to the younger guys on the team. So it's been a good experience this year.
Very good. And, the JHS baseball teams had quite a lot of success lately. So you guys going to be good this year?
Yeah.
We should be pretty good.
Okay. You going to kick everybody's butts?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. We like to hear that. All right. Well, that brings us to the reason why you are here. And that is because you have a major, major fundraiser coming up tomorrow. And this is kind of how you guys fund your season, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Can y'all tell us a little bit about what's going on tomorrow?
Well, we have it's called the Grand Slam supper. It's a chicken noodle dinner, mashed potatoes, green beans, all homemade. And we have an auction that goes on with that and kind of after it. And a Chinese auction, live auctions, things like that. It is a way for us to raise money for our season because baseball is a very expensive sport. And, we use all that money to put towards the kids' season, get them the things they need. Also, our junior high program, which is not a school sport, so they get no funding. So our high school program actually pays all the junior high expenses, and that and we're glad to do that because that's our feeder program.
It's your future.
We need those guys. All these guys played in our junior high program.
You probably all came up that way, didn't
so
you?
The jerseys, the umpires, everything that what they need, that's all paid for by us. And this is one of the reasons we really have to do that because baseball is getting to be a very expensive sport. But and our community's been awesome, at helping us out, and we have really good people involved. But last year was the biggest crowd I've ever seen at one of these. It was amazing.
I hear it got quite adventurous.
It did. There was some bidding wars, and the Chinese auction was huge. It was awesome. It was a great environment.
You had like 400 people there or something?
We did, and we're expecting the same.
Awesome.
So we had to limit tickets a little bit because I think we sold too many last year. So
you said you actually ran out of food and had to cook
some
more real quick.
More. Yeah,
and you can't cook noodles real fast.
Well, the baseball moms were attacking it, let's say, in the kitchen. But it all came through, and this year we've doubled them, so there won't be any running out. There'll be leftovers. Okay. So it'll be a great environment. Good experience for the seniors. So they've been to a few of these, and it'll be fun for them in their last year.
So what will you guys be tasked with tomorrow at the event?
Probably bussing tables, I'd say.
Usually we're bussing tables, but he might let us off. Who knows?
I don't actually have seniors bus tables.
You don't?
They didn't know that. They do that freshmen through juniors. Seniors get to kind of experience the whole thing with their families.
That's cool.
They're allowed to sit down. The other players aren't even allowed to sit down because they take up the seats. We have 60 players.
We got 400 people here. We can't
You'll see
spare
them
a seat.
Lined around the room like they're in trouble or something, but there's not enough, really not enough seats.
They're watching you.
The younger guys, bus tables. The seniors, they're part of the auction. They'll get to showcase the things, walk them around, and just have fun. And they won't be kind of tasked with a job.
So you guys didn't even know that, did you?
No.
So you gotta have fun tomorrow.
I probably should have discussed that.
No, I just forgot. Don't tell them that. So let's talk about some of the things that you all have to auction off because let's get people excited about what they're going to encounter.
There's different baskets.
I'd say there's a grade level basket for sort of each grade level.
A grade level basket?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so our 7th, our 8th, 9th through 12th, they all develop their own class basket, and they auction those off, and they're usually just monstrous. I mean, there's a lot of different things in there, from camping to sports to outdoor to restaurants, lottery ticket baskets.
Ooh.
Where you're talking hundreds or thousands of dollars worth. There's school baskets like the JI, where everything you need in Jackson, tickets to every sport, things like that. There's Cincinnati Reds tickets this year that are like 4 rows up.
You said those were like seats. Really good seats.
Yeah, they're really good. I tried to steal the tickets. I could not. So
it would kind of be easy to figure out who stole the tickets when the game happens and you see who's sitting there. Yeah. But no, so you have all of this stuff to auction off, and it's going to be super, super fun, and you get a great meal, and it's what, $10?
It's $10, yeah. And it's homemade chicken and noodles. I mean, those are difficult to make, and
my favorite.
I was telling the radio that.
I mean, who doesn't like chicken and noodles? Like, there's something wrong with you if you don't like chicken and noodles. Mashed potatoes, green beans, roll.
I mean, that's the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I told the radio we have a country grandma making the chicken noodles, so
nice.
They're not store-bought. She's been working for a long time on these. So.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
I'd say so. Hey, if somebody's on a run, could they get stuff to go or?
We are offering to go
okay.
as well. You could even come, I think, to the door and get to go as well.
Okay, so you'll have plenty of,
because some people don't know there's tickets out there, and the players sell them.
Okay.
So we don't want to leave them out, so that's available as well.
Yeah, so you're not left out. And if you can't find a baseball player to buy tickets from or get tickets ahead of time, I think you said there'd be a few at the door there available as well, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So, so why is it important for people to support this event tomorrow?
Without it, we don't have a season.
Right.
It's really important.
I mean, this is your fundraiser.
Right. And the Jackson community has been amazing to us for decades. But this is the biggest part of our fundraiser to actually pay for what we need to have a game. Different things, equipment, taking care of Sparky Haller Field, which looks awesome if you drove by, but it takes a lot of work and maintenance on that.
Do you guys do that?
Every day.
Yeah, so my husband grew up and played baseball in college, and he said the same thing, that they spent so much time working on the field. Like, you don't realize how much work you guys put into it.
It's needed. And it's great that they learn how to take care of a field.
For sure.
But they don't spend as much time as I do, so they can't complain about it. I think I do about 20 hours a week, I feel. But they work hard every practice, and they learn to take care of. But that's a staple of our community. People drive by it all the time. They know that Sparky Haller Field.
You pretty much can't drive down in that direction without that being like the focus of what you see.
Right,
so.
and it's very cool because you don't see many city fields anymore.
No.
Most fields are out in the country, and there's nothing there. It has no atmosphere. Ours is still old school and smack dab in the middle of town.
Yeah, don't park your car near it. It's great.
Right, yeah. I park my car out.
Don't park there.
Don't park there.
And the neighbors do a good job. Matt does a good job getting us our baseballs back.
Tolerating.
They're about $7 a piece now. So,
yeah. And that's funny that you said that. It's like you were talking about baseball being quite expensive, and I'm sure a lot of people are like, well, it's just a bat and a ball. Like, what? Yeah. What's expensive about that?
It's expensive just to feed the kids.
Look at these boys; they need to eat a lot.
We most of our road games are an hour drive because we don't play a lot of games in this area. So our league games and road games are an hour drive. So varsity and JV are fed before they go.
Okay.
Because you can't go from 10:30, 11 o'clock till 9 o'clock at night and not eat. And also we buy our game balls, which is it's cost us about $100 a game in baseballs because high school has certain rules. You have to use a certain ball, and they have to be in good shape. Now, the downfall of Sparky Haller Field, when it hits that road or field, a lot of times you can't put it back in the game because it's scuffed up, cut, or muddy, and you can't clean it. So umpires, they don't use those. We turn them into practice balls, but
those umpires, they're prissy. They don't want to touch dirty balls.
Yeah, it's just, and we.
Shut up, James. Anyway.
I didn't say anything.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I lost track of what I was saying. I'm out now. So, yeah, but we buy a lot of equipment.
It's a good thing Dylan isn't here to put that on TikTok. Okay. Anyway.
But we buy a lot of equipment for the kids and bags and travel bags, different things like that, and just making sure all their needs are met. And there's a lot we can't. Their parents supply a lot too. I mean, a baseball bat is $400 now. We don't buy those. Oh yeah.
Shut up.
You've got a kid playing baseball, and a glove can be $200, $300, $400, and that's bought by the parents. So, and the good thing is most of them last a long time. So they use a lot of kids will get one bat for high school, and they'll have one glove they'll use. They buy their cleats and stuff like that. We just try to take care of every other facet to not put everything on the parents and not have to pay to play.
Yeah,
that's the goal, because then you're going to eliminate many kids if you go to that, and it'll hurt the program.
Okay.
Not funding the junior high program would destroy the baseball team, because those kids would get used to not playing, and they wouldn't play in high school. So it's very important that we generally have 30 to 40 junior high players, and we make sure their needs are met, and we're supplying game balls and paying for umpires for them too.
Right. So that's why this seems like, okay, well, they're going to have 400 people there at, $10 a thing and whatever. But this is your fundraiser for like the year. I mean, you do a few other things, but like, this is the big one, and this is to support these guys and the rest of the team, plus the junior high kids.
Right. So
it's super important that people show up for this.
Yep. And it's taken on kind of a personality of itself.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what it is.
It's a blast.
It's kind of enjoyable just to show up and go out, eat a nice meal, and they get to meet all the players and kind of learn their names. And it's really cool for the seniors that get to interact with the people that are there, and it's a fun event.
Very, very cool.
I hope they're looking forward to it.
Oh, yeah.
No, well, now they know they don't have to work. Of course they
Right.
are. They're like, we can just eat and hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boss the younger guys around.
Yeah, that's awesome. See? Now, are you the only seniors on the team, or are there others?
Only
Just
seniors.
us.
The only seniors on the team. Okay. Now, do you have to go back to school?
I'm guessing,
yeah.
yes.
Can I write you a note?
Absolutely have to go back.
Oh. I told them I'd write them a note, but I don't think that'll get very far. They're like, who wrote you the note? We don't care. She's nobody.
How they were this morning would probably be about right.
Well, this one said he had to go back to calculus. I was like, I'll write you a note. I don't blame you for not wanting to go back to that.
No, that's a rough class. That's
Yes,
a
it
real rough
is.
class.
You're not kidding. All right. So let's talk about the season for a minute. You guys haven't technically started the season yet. So you have some fun things coming up. I know last year when you guys were here, well, you weren't here, but Coach was here. We talked about a trip to Myrtle Beach. Y'all doing that again this year?
Yep.
Yeah, they're excited for that. So
Fun.
It was a great time last year doing that. It was just something no other high school gets to do, and we're just fortunate to be able to do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, you obviously go there to play baseball, but do you get to do some other fun things too?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have some downtime after a baseball game. Usually, I looked at
by
our schedule.
3
Most of our
o'clock.
games are early, so we'll have the rest of the day to just hang out and do whatever we want.
I remember last year, my dad and I went to, there was a Top Golf maybe a mile or two
Yeah.
away from our hotel.
Cool.
And after one of our games, we went there for a
yeah,
couple
we
hours.
generally play early in the day, and that way they have time to spend with family, have
awesome.
fun. We stay on the beach, so they it's a little cool, but teenage boys don't care. They were out in the water,
No, yeah,
hanging out on the beach. So
Doesn't matter.
And they acted great, which has allowed us to go back again this year. And our goal is to keep this going.
Yeah.
And they do a good. Actually, our fundraisers don't pay for this. The players and parents do their own thing to pay for this trip because,
Okay.
it wouldn't be possible. But it's just something separate. Like when we raise money tomorrow, that doesn't go towards Myrtle Beach. That goes just towards funding the program.
Just the basic
yeah,
season.
we do a donut sale. Actually, that they're allowed to do that. But it's not expensive. It only costs.
Okay.
It's a good sale.
I'll bet.
Yeah, we do that, and they're able to help raise money for that trip. And some players actually raise all of it through that sale. That helps them pay for that. So, but it was
Very
an
good.
awesome experience.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about being at the beach?
I sort of
Just-
like the whole atmosphere.
Just
of it.
hanging out with everybody, having a good time with your friends.
Yeah. There's no girls involved?
No.
No.
Really?
Guess not.
They have to watch what they say.
I'm going to get you guys in so much trouble. No, that's fun. No, that's a fun time. When are y'all going to Myrtle Beach?
April 1st through the 8th.
Spring break.
So that's spring break?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because we do have a long spring break, so we're allowed to go. Jackson High School. OHSAA has a rule: you're not allowed to miss school. So we wouldn't be able to go if our school didn't have this longer spring break, which is, I think we're off 9 or 10 days that students are. So it allows us to go down there for 4 or 5, which has
Great.
been phenomenal.
That is so
yeah.
cool. I mean, how many other people can say, well, I got to go to the beach for my spring break and, do the thing that I love to do, plus hang out at the beach. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's not many schools do it, but the kids love it, and that's why we want to keep going. I mean, as a coach, it's kind of a pain in the butt sometimes organizing
yeah.
it, stressing about it, but it helps them. They enjoy it. It's a great experience for them to always remember, so it's worth
Yes.
doing. So
Now, so how does that get organized? Is this like a tournament situation? Or
you go down there, and then we take care of the lodging, things like that. We're playing in a tournament
Okay.
down at Myrtle Beach at different high schools in Myrtle Beach, in and
Oh.
around. So it's
Awesome.
pretty awesome. We actually went to a different place last year, and we're trying something different this year just to experience something new at playing different high school fields. And their fields are in the south, so they're pretty nice fields.
Nice.
They've been growing grass for a couple months, where we're just
Right,
not getting
exactly.
it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we're
so it's something similar that I did in high school and remember. So I want them to experience that as well.
I think that's so good. You guys will remember that forever. That's really, really cool. All right, let's talk about the actual season coming up. When does that start?
The
27th.
I think it's the 27th, something around there.
Somewhere around there.
We're focused on practice right now. We're getting there. We're not ready yet. So
Okay.
But yeah, we're two-time defending league champs.
Yes.
In the FAC, which is one of the best leagues in the state of Ohio, Division II. So these guys have they've been around great teams. They have they have big shoes to fill, but I think we'll be ready. They're good leaders, and we'll make sure that them and me, we'll make sure everybody's ready. But we're working hard, continually for the next few weeks till we get started.
Well, what's the responsibility of, you all are seniors, and you can remember, last year and previous years of what the seniors meant to you. What's the role of a senior? Is it kind of like the weights on your shoulders to help the other kids out, or how does that work?
Kind of. You're the leader of the team, so like everybody's going to come to you for guidance, and like you're just like kind of like a bigger brother to everybody else.
Yeah.
And you just try to take care of them, make sure their head's right, make sure the practices are going good, and nobody's goofing around, and you get work in, you be serious. But
yeah, I could see that.
Just have a good time as a senior, and get to enjoy it with all the friends you have. It's just a great time.
Yeah, and enjoy it because it goes by fast, I'm sure.
Yeah.
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 Like yesterday, I was starting school. Yesterday. Like
Yeah.
Senior season. Here it
Your
comes.
senior year goes fast. It's a whirlwind. I can remember it. It was only a couple years ago when I graduated. So, why are you laughing?
We're not.
Why are they laughing? James doesn't know. I mean, they didn't even laugh that hard at my balls joke. Anyway, they're still in shock over. Because they're mature and I'm not.
Exactly.
Great. Okay, so what all positions do you play?
I can play pretty much everywhere.
All of it? Okay.
Play everywhere.
Okay.
I play mainly in the outfield.
Okay.
I'm in the outfield as well.
All right. And so what does that mean to have people that can kind of switch around as a coach?
It's needed.
Okay.
You might be great at one spot, but we need guys to fill other positions. So,
I just thought that a
like
player
Stapleton
played
said,
one
he's mainly
position.
in the outfield, but he's been an infielder. He can play everywhere as well.
Talking about this year.
Yeah, this year. But he might get moved to the infield next week. Who knows? But
Right.
he can do it because when baseball lineup constantly changes depending on who pitches. So you might move everybody around, and that's one thing we teach in our program early is you have to be able to play different. You have to be athletic. You got to be able to play different positions, and that allows you to get in the lineup earlier. And it helps. It's desperately needed because you can't just. It doesn't no good if you have 10 infielders and no outfielders.
Yeah.
That's so you have to learn to play everywhere if possible.
Makes sense.
Camp's probably one of the few players that actually play all 9. He can catch as well. But most of these guys, even if they were put in a spot they weren't comfortable with, they'd figure it out. We'd work, they'd figure it out, and it wouldn't be a problem.
And that's just, as you said, being an athlete.
Right, and that's what we focus on. These guys work hard. They're in the weight room all year with, might be football, basketball, baseball, whatever other sport or thing they're doing. They put in a lot of work, and that's to be respected. What they do in all sports. Baseball is kind of the icing on the cake at the end of their senior year.
It kind of is like ends your senior year, doesn't it?
They've been busting their butt for 4 years, and now it's the fun time. And they've earned it. We'll be fine this year. We'll do well. That's our goal. But and these guys have earned it. And as far as leaders, you can lead with your voice or you can lead by just your actions. And we do a good job of both. Whether you're talking to another player or just working hard and they have somebody to look at. That's a great thing.
Yeah. So the pressure's on, guys. You have to do good.
We will.
We will. He said so. All right. Well, good luck this season. I know you're going to kick everybody's butt because that's what you guys do. And But the main part is don't let it go by so fast that you don't remember anything, and enjoy every single game and every minute of it, and have a good time too.
We will.
All righty.
Thank you.
Very good.
Appreciate you.
Get out to the coach or to the what's it called? Grand Slam.
Grand Slam supper.
Supper tomorrow at Parks Edge Event Center, and that's right here in Jackson. Support these guys. You can buy tickets at the door if you don't have tickets already. Chicken and noodles. Bring your wallet because there's some auctions, and help these guys out, and they're doing great things. So have a great season.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you.
All
Thank
right,
you.
come back and see us if you have anything else going on before the end of the year.
Definitely
Will
will.
do.
Okay. I'll try not to make ridiculous. I didn't even mean to make a
We'll
joke.
get y'all a ticket to Myrtle Beach.
Oh.
So
Yeah, so James and I have decided that we need to go to Myrtle Beach just to cover the games, and
we get it on the radio. Get a little advertisement.
nobody seems to think that's a good idea except for James and I and you guys.
I like the idea.
Okay.
We can do it.
I'm vouch for you.
Thanks. I'll write you a note then.
I appreciate it.
All right, get out of here, guys. Get back to school. Sorry I had to send you back to school, but
Thanks for having me.
of course, thank you for being here, and enjoy the rest of your season. You guys are going to do a great job.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Okay. Wow, we have a whole lot of chairs here, but while we're switching everything out, oh, and I got called ma'am. That's so nice. This weather forecast is absolutely insane. So here's what it says. So for today on Friday, the good news is it was supposed to be a 70% chance of rain yesterday. Today is a 30% chance of rain. So highs still around 47 degrees, with lows, though, dipping down to 27 degrees overnight tonight. For tomorrow, some sunshine in the forecast, which is great. Highs of 46, lows of 31. And then Sunday and Monday, the beginning of your work week, and also into Tuesday, you have, well, that little pesky chance of snow and sleet and icky coming back into the forecast. So, I guess just leave them all up. I don't know, Jeremiah. So Jeremiah is here, and he is going to do some news since our sweet Pete Wilson is on vacay, and we allowed him to leave. Actually, we didn't allow him to leave. We just made him leave because he works so hard. But anyway, Jeremiah's pushing buttons over there. Oh my gosh, I'm just looking at our clothes. I think your people called my people, or
We're matching. I don't know
we're
if I
such
got.
twins today.
I don't know which mic, James. So I turned them all on.
He's like, I don't know what mic is what, because we had so many
Played
over
musical chairs
here.
this
Musical
morning
chairs
a little
and
bit.
mics.
Yeah, but we're matching.
Yeah, we're twinning today. That's fine because James and I twin half the time on Fridays.
You
so
do, yeah,
it's
with
just
your sweatshirts.
yes, it's just a normal thing here. Hey, let's go over the cycle search clue before I forget.
Very good.
Because today is day 15
Day
already.
15.
We are in week 3 of the
still-
cycle search.
Still hard to believe that
Can you
we're into
believe
week
that?
3 already.
Yeah. And with that, I do want to thank our friends at Four Winds Community and Honda Suzuki Polaris Can-Am and KO of Jackson for supporting the cycle search. And so here is your clue number 15
Pay attention.
for the 2023 cycle search. Here it is. Set the clock forward. Don't forget the time. Get your rest. There's 2 bikes on the line.
I like that one. Somebody's very wordy with all
Somebody's
this.
they're very punny.
They are.
Punny.
I like it. I don't know who prepares these, but
I don't know either.
they're doing a good job.
So there you go. Don't forget, you do need to set your clocks forward this week. Right?
Yes, right. We will talk about that.
Oh,
I have
okay.
Something later in the show we can talk about that I have written, and I think it was in the newspaper Wednesday as a reminder. But
Very good.
I did a little checking on what Dylan was talking about earlier in the show.
Yeah, like the
earlier in the week.
legislation,
Yeah,
whether
so-
it's been passed or not. So
Right.
we'll talk about
We
that.
can talk a little bit about that.
Okay, very good.
First, I'd like to start off on a sad note, Jen.
Yeah.
After I got off the show on Monday, myself, along with the community, learned some sad news. We learned about the passing of well-known local therapy dog Jazz.
Yes.
And if you remember, for those watching, Jazz, I've got a picture of Jazz up on the screen there. But as you know, Telegram editor Pete Wilson had previously reported that Jazz, along with 3 other dogs, had been saved from a house fire there. It was a few weeks ago, and anyhow, Jazz, out of the 3, had suffered some complications following the fire. Due to the smoke in the house. And Jazz's owner, Debbie Willis, had shared on social media on Monday, March 6th, that she had some very sad news to report that Jazz had passed away. She was heartbroken, but knew that Jazz is in heaven, I truly believe, and had thanked everybody that had prayed for him. And she asked for prayers to continue for her. And Jazz was well known in the community, and like I mentioned, the fire happened. It was on Thursday, February 23rd, at the home 126 North High Street in Jackson. There was 5 local fire departments that battled that destructive midday fire. And there was 4 dogs home at the time of the fire, and they were all rescued. And when they were on the scene, Jazz was administered oxygen by local firefighter, police officer, and EMS staff.
Which is just so amazing that, they took the time to actually rescue these dogs and make sure that they were okay. Okay,
Treat them just like people.
Yes.
So, but anyhow, a little bit about Jazz. Jazz had some notoriety inside and outside Jackson County, especially as being a trained therapy dog. And I know you guys had Jazz on the show before.
Yes, he was here.
And,
he actually sat in a chair like a human.
Yes, I remember that. Had sat in the chair.
He was so good.
But he was certified through the Therapy Dogs International.
Yes.
And had visited numerous locations, too many to name, but a few local places that he would frequent: Holzer Health System, University of Rio Grande Community College, Jackson City Library, the Jackson County Commissioners, here on Main Street TV, Jackson area YMCA, and local school districts were some of the local places that he would frequent over the years.
And, I think a lot of people don't understand what these therapy dogs, what does that mean? Well, Jazz had traveled all over with Debbie.
Yes.
I know they went down to like Panama City when the hurricane hit, and there was, it was horrific down there, and all these people, the first responders, and then the folks that had lost their homes and businesses and whatever. And, that's what these therapy dogs are trained to do, is to kind of go in and help folks cope with this kind of situation. So he had done that numerous times, and it's just really, really kind of sad that this would happen to a dog that did so much good.
It is
for people.
Yeah, I was getting ready to mention that as well. That in addition to the numerous appearances across the state, that there was several times that he had traveled out of state during natural or man-made disasters.
Yes,
I think he had also visited during a time even when there had been like a shooting or something as well.
Yeah,
and some natural disaster like a tornado or hurricane or something, I believe.
Yep.
But anyway, he impacted numerous people's lives, Jen.
He did, and you have to think about what great things that he did, over the years, but it just doesn't quite seem right, does it?
No. So he'll be sadly missed.
He will be. Yeah.
So Jen, this week, have you been startled at all in the evenings?
I'm just gonna tell you. If you live around here, you're kind of used to some of it.
If you're new to the area, you are not, though.
But you never get like you never get used to like sitting at the dinner table and the whole house takes off rattling.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's a mini earthquake or something.
Yes.
Yes. So this week, so a lot of people reported, especially on Tuesday evening,
I would
March
like
7th.
to see I'm sure the 911 thing just takes off.
Probably was. I know social media was full of this, but what we're talking about being startled is the sonic booms that people were hearing.
Correct.
So this week, the 180th Fighter Wing has been doing some night flying. They were doing that March 6th through the 9th. So today's the 10th, so there should not be any tonight. But,
I remember distinctly two really, really big ones that I encountered. That,
right.
You can't help but jump.
You can't. But I was able to reach out to somebody that I've spoken with before over at the this is at the 180th Fighter Wing. I was able to talk to somebody there to talk a little bit about it. But like you were saying, we've if you've lived here, we've experienced these over the years. But if you're new to the area, you may have been wondering what the heck's going on. Especially with all the news.
The whole world just end. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Right, and a lot of people described it as like, did something blow up? Was there? An explosion?
Sounds like a bomb hit.
And that's what it does. And like it'll rattle the windows, or I was laying on the sofa and it moved our sectional.
Yeah,
which it's near like a outside wall. So, but anyhow, a sonic boom occurs when James had a picture up there of a jet breaking the sound barrier. Now this one here is one of the jets that would fly over. This is an F-16 Fighting Falcon, and it's assigned to the Ohio National Guard's 180th Fighter Wing, and here it's taken off for a night flight. This is a photo from a few years ago that I was able to obtain.
That's a beautiful photo. Did where did these planes come out of?
Right. So the 180th Fighter Wing Ohio Air National Guard is located at the Toledo Express Airport in Northwest Ohio. The base and infrastructure have been designed and constructed to support the current and future fighter aircraft needed for America's security and defense.
Okay.
So I reached out to somebody. I did a story like this several years ago, but I figured, there's probably some new people that live in the area that haven't really experienced.
Area, I saw that. New to the area, what was that?
Right. So I reached out to him again just to kind of go over it, and we spoke, and he gave me some good information about it. And for those that don't know, a sonic boom is a thunder-like noise a person on the ground hears when an aircraft or other type of aerospace vehicle flies overhead faster than the speed of sound. So they're going at supersonic. And that's when they hit that. That's what we hear here on the ground.
That is crazy. I wonder how fast that is.
I have a little more information about that too. Yeah, I asked these questions. I had a correspondent with Senior Airman York. He's a public affairs specialist with the Ohio Air National Guard's 180th Fighter Wing, and he did confirm that they had been doing night flying. And something that we didn't talk about in the past when I spoke with him is why they do the night flying.
Yeah.
And he said to support our nation's our nation's natural defense strategy, our pilots support personnel. Our pilots and support personnel prepare for a variety of scenarios, including nighttime operations. He says whenever we do fly at night, his office always tries to put out press releases so that they can reduce panic. So I follow that page, and I did share prior to this happening that this would be taking place. And it only got like a couple shares, but then the night that the big one happened, and I shared it, and it had like almost 400 shares. It's like people didn't...
Then they're like, now we get it. Yeah.
Yeah, and... many readers were alarmed by the booms on Tuesday evening as they seemed louder than normal. York explained that various environmental conditions can impact the sound. He noted that the hills of southern Ohio, cloud cover, and changing temperatures all have impact on the amplitude and intensity of the sound.
Oh.
And he explained that the state of the world changes on a daily basis, so their training changes daily, sometimes resulting in different, louder maneuvers than some residents may be used to. And he explained, you were asking about how fast they go.
Yeah.
He said that An F-16 Fighting Falcon can travel at speeds over 1,500 miles per hour.
Shut up.
He says the speed of sound, which is Mach 1, is only roughly 761 miles per hour at sea level. So the sound of speed can change based on the temperature and the amplitude.
Did you happen to ask Jeremiah how long it takes for one of those planes to get from Toledo to Jackson?
I did not.
At 1,500 miles an hour, not too fast.
Well, Jen, I remember talking to the guys that had the antique World War II plane at the airport here in Jackson when they had that event. And it was coming from the Dayton area, I think.
Yes.
And they said it took like 25 minutes for them to get from Dayton to Jackson in that thing.
So can you imagine how they'd be here in like 2 minutes?
Right. They're like down to Florida in no time or something, you know. But some people have wondered, you know, why do we always hear the sonic booms here in this part of the state? And he explained and reminded the public that the airspace in this part of the state has been designated by the military operated airspace by the Federal Aviation Administration, and he says that this MOA is one of few locations authorized for the supersonic flight, as well as flares and other combat-related exercises. Because I know in the past we've also had reports where people have seen stuff at night. And it's those flares going off when they're doing these training exercises.
I'm telling you, I have seen some crazy, crazy stuff off my front porch, and I have to just think or pray that it's something that the military is doing and not anything else.
Nothing
because
else.
I have seen some weird things.
Yeah, a lot of people say that they can see these guys training at night.
Yeah.
I know some of the comments that I had on Facebook. There was somebody that lived, I think, near Piketon, and they were telling me from their front porch they can see they could definitely get a show, they said, sometimes down that way. But, anyhow, that kind of explains a little bit about that. That story is on the telegramnews.com, and I think it was either in Wednesday's edition or it will be in Saturday's edition, and you can read all about it there.
Well, it's much appreciated that you took the time to do that, because I think it is, I don't care how long you've lived here or whatever, it's still shocking when that happens, but it's less disturbing when you understand what's actually happening and that you know it's okay. It's not like, you know, someone dropping a bomb or, you know, but I can see where people that haven't lived here all their lives could be like, what is that? But it's because our, you know, where we live is their practice airspace.
Right.
In a nutshell.
Yes, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
There's still times, even though that I know that they do the flyovers in this part of the state. There's even times I still jump online and check to make sure that it wasn't an earthquake.
Yeah.
Just because of the intensity sometimes.
Oh, they get that one on Tuesday. I was at my parents' house. I was at my mom's house, and I was just like, I about fell out the chair.
Yeah. No, a lot of people were up and out. I know James said he went outside to make sure.
I went outside to make sure something didn't fall in the house.
Right.
It was a rough one.
It was, that was a big one. I didn't hear anything last night. Did you hear anything last night?
I didn't hear anything last night, but Wednesday I was at my house and I heard
a little one Wednesday.
I heard one Wednesday. So.
That one Tuesday definitely.
It was
rattled.
It was big.
So when I left out of here Monday, because we only did 30 minutes, I headed over to the Jackson City Council chambers.
Okay.
For the City of Jackson Visitor and Convention Commission board meeting.
Yes.
This was their second meeting.
Okay.
Of the year. The meeting was held on Monday, March 7th, and it was, like I said, the second time they met. The first time they met was a week before on February 27th, and for those that don't know, this is like the tourism board, as people like to call it.
Yes.
They get funds from the bed tax, which that money comes from like the local hotels.
Yes.
And anyway, there's three folks that are on that board, and you had Dan Fox, Ryan Peters, and Brett Reed. They are the three gentlemen that are on that commission board that decide where those funds are spent.
Yes.
They encourage people from the county to submit applications for funds, and what they're looking for is to attract tourism and visitors to the city of Jackson and surrounding area. So when they fund projects or fund events or whatever, that's what they're looking at.
Yes.
So sometimes they may give a little more, a little less, depending on what they think will bring.
It kind of comes full circle because basically the tourism board is funded by the bed tax. Mm-hmm. But the things that they want to fund are things that will bring, obviously, tourism into the area and put more people in the beds so that they can continue to
do this.
And it just kind of, everything helps each other.
It does. They did award some more funds at the second meeting, and I'll run through those real quick. The Big Diamond Red Club received $3,500. The Jackson Area Festival and Events, also known as Jaffe, received $7,000 towards the Jackson Apple Festival.
Okay.
The Jackson County Ag Society had 2 applications. They submitted one for the Jackson County Fair and received $5,000. And they also submitted one for the Jackson County Extravaganza. If you recall, several years ago, they had that out there at the fairgrounds during the 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
And had different events and stuff
they had
going
like bands
on.
And stuff, didn't they?
I think with some, you had the opportunity to camp, I think, out there and stuff. But they received $1,000 towards that. If you recall, last time I was on, we spoke about Jeff Dalton, a concerned citizen that had submitted an application seeking funding to support the Jackson County Trout Festival. Well, he was present again, and he was trying to partner with the Fraternal Order of Police, the FOP, to secure funds from the board to put around 700 trout from a private fish hatchery for the festival into Hammertown Lake.
Yes.
Well, the FOP did not show up, and he decided to withdraw its application.
Okay.
So there was no funding put towards that.
Okay.
I will say that it's still unclear the future of the Jackson County Trout Festival Jackson County Trout Festival with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources will not be stocking Hammertown with rainbow trout this year.
Well, it seems to me that somebody buying a bunch of trout and throwing it in the lake, there'd be a lot more logistics to that from environmental, sides and all of that.
Right.
So I think that while I think the intentions were great, there's probably a lot of red tape in there somewhere.
Probably, yes.
Than to just buy some fish and throw it in our city's water source.
Right. So we'll hopefully hear maybe a little more about maybe what the FOP has. I don't think they've announced that they've canceled it per se, but you can't exactly have one with.
Have offered to fork up money to
help with it
but I haven't heard anything past that.
We'll talk a little bit more about trout, rainbow trout, here in a second.
Yes.
Because I did do a little write up on where, even though you can't get them here or in Benton County, there are neighboring counties that are nearby, not too far away, where you can go fish for those this year.
Okay.
The Lillian Jones Museum received $6,000. The Southern Hills Art Council, SHAC, received $5,000. The Jackson Downtown Association received $1,000. The Cultivating Our Future received $1,500. And here at Total Media, we received $5,000.
Okay.
And that is a rundown of funds. There were a couple other organizations that had submitted applications, but they didn't fund those. You had they haven't funded them at this time, I should say. The Garden Lovers Club and Henderson's Arena had submitted applications, but I'm not sure how much or what for.
Okay.
But you can read what each of the organizations were going to do with those funds in a story. This story should be on the telegramnews.com, or it will be.
I'm just going to say one personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of folks don't understand the amount of traffic that Henderson's Arena brings into this area. If you don't show horses or don't go to the events that they hold out there, you don't know. Mm-hmm. But it is a ton. I was trying to think of a really good word that didn't swear. Mm-hmm. A big ton of folks and money that comes into this area.
Mm-hmm. I've never been out there, Jen. In all my years of doing,
you haven't?
No, I've never had. There's never been like a news related thing that has sent me out there, and I've never gone like on personal time out there.
People have no idea. I mean, it is a like state of the art, amazing facility, beautiful tack shop out there, and Western wear store. People, I mean, the only other store like that I could think of would be in Columbus.
The store is wild.
The store is insane.
It's so much bigger than you think it is.
Yes. The arena is amazing. They have built so much stuff out there, and they bring so many people to our area. So that's just Jen's opinion on whether, you want to talk about something that goes full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
on those two, the reason why they hadn't awarded anything yet, the Garden Lovers Club still had some funds left, I guess, from last year or from another fund.
Okay.
And nobody from Henderson's was there to speak on the application.
Probably just had some questions about it or whatever.
So they may have had some questions. Yeah. Usually if you're there in person and you speak, they usually will either give you a yes or no, or we'll wait till the next meeting to see.
Yeah.
So Reed did note that there will be a third meeting later this year. That would be announced. And he said they had around 20,000 left to award.
Okay.
I think they started out with it was over $70,000 that they had, which I think he said that there was some more funds coming in, so the actual total was like 85,000 altogether. Yep. That they had come in for that. So anyhow, moving on. So a week ago today, the Jackson City Caucus, so the Jackson County Republican Party Central Committee met because they had a vacancy on the Jackson City Council.
Yes.
I think Pete spoke about John Ondera resigning because he was moving to Chillicothe.
Yes.
And we'd like to congratulate Jeff Elliott, former councilman, to Jackson City Council. He was appointed to the empty seat on Friday, March 3rd, and that was a open at-large Jackson City Council seat. And we congratulate him on taking on that role again, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think he had served in that position before. I'm not sure how many years, but he was on there for, here it is. Jeff Elliott had 12 years experience.
Yes. Yeah, he'd been there quite some time.
I knew it had been a number of years.
Sure.
So congratulations to him.
Yep.
Let's see. We'll come back to that on Monday. Talk real quick about the rainbow trout.
Yeah.
So no rainbow trout are being released by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife in Jackson nor Benton counties, but there's still opportunities to catch rainbow trout throughout the state. They'll be stocking 90 public lakes and ponds this spring, and Pete's been on and talked about the reasons why Hammertown was not stocked because of the new the changes that they did in deciding how to stock those lakes and ponds. But real quick, I'll just run over. I reviewed the list because they released that it was just like last week or earlier this week. And here's some neighboring and nearby counties that you can check out. The Rio Grande Reservoir in Guy County will be stocked on March 17th. That's a new location, Jen, for trout.
Where's that? James, do you know where that is?
That's up on the hill from the college.
Is it?
Yeah, yep. I mean, is that what the creek there by Bob Evans' farm, and it runs into that?
No, the reservoir's up on the hill.
Okay.
Like where the water tower is.
Okay. I know there's a really nice park out there, but is that where we're talking about? I don't remember a lake being there.
Yeah, well, you probably never went up on the hill then. Like if you're coming on the main drag, to the university, there's a road that turns off. I can't think of the road's name, but it goes up and it goes up on a hill. There's a big water tower up there on the backside. The backside of that tower, there's a lake down there, and that's the city the village reservoir. Okay. I've done a lot of fishing there. I grew up in Rio Grande, so I did a lot of fishing out that way.
Gotcha.
So anyhow, that's a new location this year. There's a lake in Ross County called Clodwell Lake. It'll be stocked on March 17th.
Okay.
There will be a lake called Penrod Lake in Athens County that'll be stocked on March 31st. That's a new location this year. Pike Lake in Pike County will be stocked on April 3rd. Rose Lake in Hocking County will be stocked on April 7th, and then Roosevelt Lake and Turkey Creek Lake in Scioto County will be stocked on April 22nd.
Okay.
And they'll be releasing a total of 84,000 rainbow trout across those 90 public lakes and ponds.
Okay.
So that's a little bit about a couple of the ones that are nearby, since we won't have any here locally.
Yep.
Real quick, want to go over a few events before we get out of here.
Yeah.
Tonight, Bundy Elementary School in Wellston will be hosting their Bundy Carnival at the school. They're at 527 South Missouri Avenue in Wellston. There will be games with prizes available from 5 to 7 p.m. A live auction will begin at 7:30 p.m. A silent auction and a ticket auction will also be held, and food will be available for purchase.
Okay.
That's always a fun event. I've been out to that before. I will not be covering it, but I think we are sending somebody out to cover that.
Cool.
So you may see some pictures in a later edition. Tomorrow, the cast of the Oak Hill musical Beauty and Our Beast is inviting you to be.
Wait, Beauty and Our Beast?
What did I say?
Is it Beauty and
You
the
said
Beast
Beauty
or Our
and Our Beast?
Beauty and Our Beast. Beauty and the Beast.
Okay, I'm like, what play is that?
Let me just read this. Here. We're getting towards the end. I'm trying to be Pete Wilson and read all this as quick as I can. The cast of the upcoming musical Beauty and the Beast at Oak Hill High School is inviting the community to be their guest for a pancake breakfast.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that says stupid things today. Go ahead.
Yes. So the breakfast will be held at Oak Hill High School cafeteria on Saturday, March 11th from 9 to 11 a.m. The meal will include hotcakes, sausage, milk, and juice.
Nice.
Cost is $5 per person, and the event will feature all your favorite Beauty and the Beast cast.
Nice.
So be sure to go check that out and support those students. They will be doing a production next weekend, and we'll talk about that on Monday.
Okay, cool.
The Jackson Area Festival and Events organization has announced dates for the 2023 Little Miss Apple Festival Queens Contest.
Yes.
Apple Festival is until September, but we're already talking royalty,
We
Jim.
do the Queens.
We do the Queens early.
April, what is it? Or no, what's that called? Easter weekend.
Right. Yeah. The contest will be held Friday, April 7th, with doors opening at 6 p.m. and the contest begins at 7 p.m. at the Jackson Middle School Auditorium. If you have little girls between the ages of 5 and 7 before September 24th, they are welcome to attend. The reason I bring this up is because all contest applications must be completed and hand-delivered to the Jaffe building there on McCarty Lane across from Walmart. You have two opportunities, actually, but the first one's this weekend on Sunday, March 12th.
Okay.
Between the hours of 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. Your next opportunity will be Sunday, March 19th, the same time frame. No late entries will be accepted. And there are entry forms available at Ohio Valley Bank, Andrea's Bridal, Nationwide Insurance, and there are applications at the grade schools as well.
Okay.
And apparently we have applications here at Total Media, or we can get you an application. So there's that. We'll wait and talk about this on Monday. Real quick, because we're running out of time. We talked about the time change.
Yes.
So 2 important things to do this weekend, Jen, that everybody needs to do. The first is remember to change clocks ahead 1 hour, so you're springing forward. And you also need to remember to check your smoke alarm batteries, Jen.
Yes.
You don't have one of those new smoke detectors that have the 10-year battery in it.
Correct.
And you have to change your little 9-volt one every year.
Yep.
Be sure to test it. Well, don't even test it. You won't test it, but you also need to go ahead and put a new battery in there so you're good for the upcoming year.
Yep.
So be sure to do that.
And while you're at it, make sure you add, if you have any gas in your house whatsoever, add that carbon monoxide detector.
The CO2
it is
detector.
so important. And now you can run out to Callahan Hardware and you can buy a combo.
You can buy them together, yes.
And it'll last you for like 10 years.
Yep.
And it's a combo thing where it tells you smoke and the carbon monoxide, and you're good to go.
Yep. In our house, a couple years ago, I got tired of replacing the battery, so I bought one of the 10-year smoke detectors for the house. But I have one of the plug-in CO2 detectors.
So
plugs
do I.
into a wall outlet. That way I don't have to worry about the...
Yeah.
I mean, it has a battery that I do change, but
Yeah, I have those. So here's a little tip too, because we're running out of time. Get one of those plug-in carbon monoxide detectors, and if you travel a lot, throw it in your suitcase. If you're staying at an Airbnb, you're staying at a hotel, anything like that, plug her in. Make sure you're protected.
Right.
Because there's been strangely weird things that have happened at hotels and Airbnbs and whatever, people passing away because of carbon monoxide. So
it's
throw
a
on your suitcase,
silent killer.
Yeah, throw on your suitcase and plug it in, take it with you.
Right. So this year, daylight savings time begins on Sunday, March 12th at 2 a.m. So before you go to bed Saturday, set your clock forward. If you still have at my house, I can think of, my clock in the car, microwave, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, stuff on your stove. Doesn't automatically change.
A clock on the wall that doesn't automatically change. That's something you will need to do.
Yep.
I know you guys were talking about the legislation, and Dylan said that it had passed, but he wasn't sure, but that's what his teacher had told him. Well, I looked it up, and ahead of daylight savings time this year, U.S. Senator Marco Rubio from Florida, he had reintroduced a bill. It was called the Sunshine Protection Act of 2023. He had actually put this legislation out last year. It made it through the Senate, but it didn't get through the House.
Okay.
So he reintroduced it again this year for the 118th Congress. The legislation would end the practice of changing clocks twice a year. He called, and I quote, "The ritual of changing time twice a year is stupid. Locking the clock has, popular support, and he hopes that they can get this done." And there's also accompanying legislation in the House that was submitted by U.S. Representative Vern Buchanan, also out of Florida. And he was citing there's enormous health and economic benefits for changing, leaving the time the way it is. But anyhow, if this bill passes in the Senate and the House, it would go to the desk of U.S. State President Joe Biden to decide whether or not to sign it for passage. If it passes, then it would stop that practice of changing the clocks twice a year. So once we spring forward this weekend, that's it.
Yeah, you would stay on daylight savings time.
We would stay, an hour ahead forever.
We'd stay sprung forward.
We would stay sprung forward, yes. Yeah. So you wouldn't have to set your clocks back.
What's your opinion on that?
It doesn't really, it's whatever. It's just something we've gotten used to. I mean, I like the extra daylight in the evening, but I mean, come winter, is it still going to be, even though it's an hour ahead, will there still be extra daylight in the evening?
Well, 1 hour more.
I guess, I don't know.
Then there would be, but it's also darker than in the morning.
Does.
But
right.
I don't know. James, what do you think?
I don't really mind it being dark in the morning as much as I mind it being dark in the evening.
At 4:30?
Right.
Yeah, but I know a lot of people feel the other way, But yeah, I mean, I'd rather it be dark in the morning than darker in the evening, but that's just me.
I just think it's absolutely ridiculous we have to change clocks. Like, come on.
Right.
Like, just leave it.
And there's some states that don't do the daylight.
And that gets confusing, too.
Yeah, if you're traveling.
Some states do, some states don't.
Right.
You don't know what time of the year am I in that I have to...
And then you have time zones on top of that, and it just...
Yeah, it does get confusing.
So anyhow, that's a rundown of all the news I got for you, Jen. There's a few things we didn't get to, but that's okay. We can touch on those on Monday when I come back in.
Awesome.
I think Telegram Associate Editor Phil Buffin may be in too.
Okay.
To split the time with me on Monday because he's got some stuff he'd like to talk about as well.
Always love to talk with both of you.
Yep. It's been busy.
Yeah,
I've been trying to keep up on everything. Tomorrow we will have a 16-page paper chock full of news. So be sure to pick that up at your newsstands. And as always, on telegramnews.com, it's always up to date. You can get all your latest news on there. A lot of times there's some stuff for free on there, Jen. You don't have to be a subscriber, but we encourage you to be a subscriber.
Yep. Hey, and don't forget, it's all spring forward, but it's also Selection Sunday. So starting this Sunday afternoon, start entering the Basketball Mania contest on go to the Telegram website, click on the banner, and that will show you how to enter.
Yeah,
there you go.
Should have those brackets in next week's edition, I believe.
Next Wednesday's paper will have the bracket printed in it.
And you will be able to enter that for free to win part of a $600 prize. So that's really, really cool. Hey, don't forget before we get out of here, Boy Scout Troop 57 annual spaghetti dinner and auction this tomorrow. Starts at 11 a.m. and goes all the way through 7 tomorrow night. So you have tons of chance to get your spaghetti all day long. Again, it's to support the Boy Scouts there in Wellston. Dinner, Chinese auction, silent auction, and live auction. It's at St. Peter and Paul Parish Hall. They can also, spaghetti, dessert, drink, salad, the whole 9 yards. You can get it to go as well if you're, kind of in a hurry. So get out, support those kids as well, and then get down here and support the baseball team tomorrow evening. So,
right.
Yeah, there you go.
Lots of stuff happening this weekend.
Like tons of stuff. Don't say you don't have anything to do.
Right. Just visit our website and do a Google search for the date, and you'll find tons of events going on.
You got it. So. All right. Well, Jeremiah, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. James, thank you for pushing all the right buttons and laughing at my ridiculous statements. He was laughing at me, not with me on that one. Jeremiah doesn't know what I said. We'll talk about that off the air.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Please disregard the things that come out of my mouth sometimes. All right. We will see you back here on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegramnews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegramnews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegramnews.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegramnews.com.
Check it out.